Hello, my name is Assaf, and today we're going to start learning to program. In order to start, I go to to start, and I am looking for the Microsoft Visual C# 2010 Express. Here it is. By my computer, it's over here at the top. If you already have it installed, then it might not be on your computer over here, but rather somewhere else. And if you don't have it on your computer, then you would need to install it. We have separate lectures on how to do that. Okay, you might have it in your all programs. Click in Microsoft Visual Studio 2010 Express. Click, and here it is, Microsoft Visual C#. C#. The pound sign is pronounced sharp. C# 2010 Express. I click that, and I'm waiting for it. It came up. Anyway, I would like to write my first program. In order to do that, I can click here, the new project, or in general, actually I like closing the start page altogether, X. In general, you can go to File, click, and there is new project. And here is the new project dialog box. On my left here, on the left, there is the Visual C#. It's already selected. And over here I have a few options that I can choose from. I would like to choose the console application. Click. This is a simple application, since this is the first time that we're programming. So we start from console applications. We will see what a console application is. In general, most people are used to Windows Forms applications. Like this window, the new project window, is of a type of a Windows Forms application. But we're not going to start from that. That's a little bit advanced. We're going to start from console applications. So I choose this, and I click OK over here. Click. Good. It says over here now, ready. At the center here, I see this thing, which for you is very strange. For me, it's not that strange. At the top here, it says program.cs. On my right here is the Solution Explorer. Over here, I can see what makes up this project. Specifically, I can see the program CS file. CS stands for C#. So this is the environment with which we're going to be programming, and this is actually the environment with which programmers program and develop software and then sell it and make lots of money. So it may seem strange what we're doing, but very quickly, hopefully, you're going to catch on and understand how to write programs. I'm going to take you through the steps. So in the beginning, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense. Hopefully in time it will make much more sense. Alright, so actually what we have right now is an application. All we need to do, or at least the makings of an application, the Visual C# Express has already written for us some code and has prepared the surface for us. All we need to do now is click this button. When I click it, the Visual C# will create a program. Let's do that, see it, and then explain some more. So I click it. Once I click it, something black came up and disappeared again. In order to make that black, whatever it was, stay, I'm going to place a breakpoint over here. In time, you'll understand what a breakpoint is, and you'll learn to use it. But for now, just look at what I do. Listen to me. After I complete this lecture, you should try everything on your own. If you have questions, obviously, you can turn to us. We'll be glad to help you. Okay, so over here again, I'm going to click this button. Now you can't see that when I'm hovering over this button, it says Start Debugging and F5 in parentheses. If you try it on your computer, if you have the Visual C# already installed, if you try it on your computer, you hover over this button, you'll also see. So you could click F5 on your keyboard or click the button with the mouse. Let's click it again with the mouse, and again the black window shows up. It's at the back. I can click it and then it comes forward. Now it's in front of the Visual C# Express. I can modify its shape. Over here, right, we discussed that the Visual C# wrote some code for us. So this is the code of this program. So in the code, we can now see that the red dot that I placed, the breakpoint that I placed, has now a yellow arrow on top of it, and the right squiggly bracket, this one, has turned, or has now a yellow background. And this means that this is the next statement of the program that is going to be performed by the computer. Surprisingly, this line tells the computer to close the window. This line, you might say, everything that I say is not 100% accurate. It's as accurate as I can make it for you and for me at this point. So you could say that this is the point where the program starts, where the black window is created and shows up, and this is the line that orders the computer to close that window. So when I perform this line, the black window will be closed. So again, I'm going to tell the computer to run. This time, if you hover over your arrow, you'll see that it says continue, but still F5, meaning if I hit F5 on the keyboard, the program is going to continue. In continuing, it's going to perform this line, which is going to order the computer to close the window. So let's tell it continue, and indeed the black window closed or disappeared. And actually, we have now created our first computer program. We can sell it. Well, if you had buyers for such a very, very simple program, then you could sell it. But this is actually a console application. And there are console applications that are sold for money. Usually these applications are for experts, because experts like working with consoles. You and me, usually, we people like Windows. We like working with Windows-based applications. But experts, they enjoy working with console-based applications. This application, I can show it to you. Actually, I can go through a bunch of steps in order to show it to you. I'm going to click here the Save All icon, right? The bunch of diskettes here, or go to the menu File, click File, and Save All, or Control-Shift-S. Click that. When I hit that, so the Visual C# asks me, do you want to save the project, or where do you want to save the project? By default, on my computer, the location is on my desktop. If it's not on your computer, then you might use Browse, click the desktop, select a folder, and that should be your desktop. I'm going to hit Save now, When I hit save, a folder has been created here, the console application 1 folder, and this is actually the name of our project, console application 1. I can go into this folder, double click it, and now I can see the contents of the folder. And actually, again, in time you'll understand more and more. Obviously, computer programming is, I would say, one of the more complicated professions that there are. Hence, one of the better pays for this profession. In any case, what we see here is an SLN file. Let's increase the size of this window. Double click over here. This is a Microsoft Visual Studio solution, and this corresponds to this solution over here. So the SLN, you might not be able to see the SLN file, the SLN extension on your computer, but SLN files, or Microsoft Visual Studio Solution files, correspond to the solution. Inside is the project. Console application 1 is the console application 1 project. Double click that, and if I increase the size a little bit, here is program CS. That's the file that contains the code on which we're working right now, and that's the only file. Yeah, I would say that's the only file that contains the code in this entire project. It's a minimal project. It doesn't do anything except for display the black window and close it. That's all it does. In time, we will learn how to write stuff onto the window, how to read stuff from the keyboard, how to write more complicated programs, and later on in the course, we'll learn how to build Windows-based applications. But first, I still want to go deeper into this folder, into the bin, and into debug. And here is an exe. This is the actual application. This is the exe extension. This is ultimately what you sell to your clients, as we will learn in this course. Okay, so let's minimize the Visual Studio for a second. I would like to run this application, double click it, and there is the window. It showed up and closed. Double click it again, there it is. So ultimately, every time we program, we create an exe file. This is our purpose. Okay, let's go back to the Visual C# Express, or I might sometimes refer to it as the Visual Studio. And let's write one more line of code, or our first line of code. I'd like to ask the computer to display a hello world statement onto the black window. Okay, let's do that. So, how do we tell the computer to display something? We write the following: Console.Write, open parentheses, close parentheses, semicolon, go back between the parentheses, quotations, quotations, and hello world. Very nice. Again, I can run this. Now the black window is displayed with this statement, the hello world statement. In the next lecture, and in the coming up lectures, we're going to go deeper and deeper and learn to program more and more things. So for now, I'd like to thank you, and hopefully I'll see you in my next lecture. Thank you very much.